We're gonna go out here and check these onions and maybe pull a few more up today. We've already started this morning, so we might as well to keep it up. There's two right there that I don't see the humor in. We'll pull them, lay them there, and we can pick them up after a while. The ones that don't look like they need to be laying there is going to be pulled up. And that's the ones that we'll chop up. And I'll tell you, lots of them is already breaking over. See, there's one that's got a odd looking bloom on it. Here's one that's laid over. It's just that time. See, that one's broke over. It's not very big, but it's broke over. So we got to get them out. Here's two growing together. Stuff like that need to be got out of there. Here's one that's over on its side, and there's one that's got a bloom on it. Those is ones you want to get out of there and chop up. Now, I ain't decided exactly what I'm going to do, whether it's hang some of these, because I really don't think that we need all of them. We don't need all of them. In the house right now. We don't need them all. Now I could continue to let some of these grow, but some of them, like this one with the bloom on it, it needs out of here. It needs out of here. There's no doubt about it. Right here's three, two growing together. They need to be out of there. And there's one that don't look so hot. It needs to be out. I tell you the truth, is muggy. And see, lots of these, they're over. They fell over. And I'm not looking for record breakers here. I'm looking for onions that I can keep and store. I'm thinking, of course, you know, if we pull these and hang some of these, see, there's one that's broke over. I'm gonna get it. I'm not leaving it. I'm not gonna leave them. There's. Well, I'll show you what happens here when they go to seed. It's just like garlic. Just like garlic. I'll just keep these in my hand here, and I'll come down there and show you. What I'm pulling is the ones that fell over and the ones that's struggling. Two right together, too close where they've split. And all that good stuff. I've got to get this cleaned up. It's getting out of hand. Now right here is two that I pulled. Just these small ones. These are small ones. Now here's two. You can see look at the difference. See the difference? These are just a lot smaller than these two. These two don't have no tops on them. Look what's on top of these. You see that? That's proof right there that shows you. For the ones that don't know, most people probably do know. No blooms, bloom. Look at the little bulbs, So when you've got them that's going to seed like this, the energy goes to this stalk and up here. And if you're wanting seeds, that's fine. But I don't want seed. I just want onions. You can see here what happens. Let me show you. Especially on this one. Now what happened to this onion? Here's the onion. You see what was planted, this one right here. Well, then it sends this seed stalk up. And this just gets abandoned, basically. It just falls over. And because it's getting rid of this. It don't want to support this. It wants all energy to go to this. So that bulb just maintains enough probably to carry it over for another year or so. It would survive if you left it in the ground, provided it didn't freeze. But this, the energy, all about that onion is devoted to this. Now, if I had have caught this when that first come up, when this was standing tall, looking good, and pruned that out, it may have set another stalk up, but I doubt it. It started devoting all of its energy into this root, which that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Now, I'm gonna walk out through here and I'll tell you what, let me get a tray. And while I'm out here, I'll just go ahead and pick the ones I've done pulled up. I'll get these out of the way where I won't be stepping on them. I mean, I could let these grow more, but there's some pretty good ones in here right now. Pretty good sized onions. It's like I say, I'm not growing these for no competition onions. I just want onions. And it's like I say, these white ones is needing ringing. See, these is the yellow ones that I'm dealing with now, over here. These white ones I'll let go as long as I can, but I'm not gonna. There's not enough there to dwell on. Because just like I say, I need this space, and I intend to get this space cleaned up, and hopefully I can do it in the next 2 days. These old weeds is trying to take over. And they will if you let them. They will. The lettuce, it's bolting here. It's history. I've been pulling it out, feeding it to the chickens and the pigs. Ain't nothing goes to waste. Not even these seed onions. They don't go to waste. I'll take these and set them in the shade. Oh yeah. I've already showed you that I skin them and everything. And of course you've seen how we tie the garlic and tie the Egyptian walking onions. No need to go through that again. But I will show you these onions once I get them up. And it's like I say, the tops is dying, some of them's falling over. They're getting to look, you can see this one right here. I mean, I'll pull it up, you'll see what I'm talking about. You see how the tops fell over? It's time for these to come up. It really is. There's one that had a bloom started on it. It's a double. Missed that one a while ago. So, let's just call the onion crop over this year. Onions, onions, and more onions. We're just gonna lay them babies down there for right now. And here's one that went to seed. Hey, Lord. There's one too that went to seed. Tried to, but it aborted. onions, onions, and more onions. Go right here and start. Whew. Yeah, these onions are definitely easily ready to come up. You're not being pulled none too early. You can leave them out here longer and think you're going to get bigger and better onions. And if they do get a little bit bigger, that won't compensate for the ones that'll rot on you. So, pretty good onions. Pretty good onions, I say. I'm not too fond leaving these out here in the garden because they can blister. And if they do, they're gone. They'll surely rot on you. And it don't take forever for it to do that, for them to blister on you. Now, these won't blister because I'm not going to leave them out here. I'm going to get them in. In out of the sun. In, out of the sun, my friend. Whew. Yes, sir. Them Egyptian walking onions is fighting back. You can see them here. These Egyptian walking onions too, they're ready to be removed. Okay, now I'm gonna walk right out here and see if I can't show you one thing while I'm doing this. Whew. So right here is a decent one. Here's a couple. Now let's grab these couple here. And I'll show you. The reason I pull these, I want to show you what I'm talking about. The onions here. These is white. They come from that row over here. These is the yellow. It's obvious. These didn't do worth a plug nickel. These done great. Planted one day apart, identically the same. This one hit this, they rotted or something. They just failed to come up, and I had to pull all the way to right here, from right here. And I took from here down what few there was and transplanted them out through here to about try to thicken this row up a little, and then I planted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 okras, and they're needing weeded because these old weeds is growing up. I've got to get this out of here and get this took care of. That's what we're doing now, ain't it? So that's the onions. 3 baskets full, and that'll be all the onions we need. And we're going to have to probably have to hang some of them. I don't know. We'll probably hang some of them onions and take a chance on them drying. After I said I wasn't going to, but just like I say, we're going to have in the freezer all we need. So if I hang these and they dry, I mean, some of them was to rot, I'll keep a close eye on them. If they start going bad, we'll have to deal with them. But I'll turn this back on and show you after a while and see what I decide here to do with them. All right, see you in a minute. All right, there's the onions that I'm going to chop. That's probably all we'll need right there to finish up what we've already got. And then here is the onions that I'm gonna hang. And I think I've got 8 bundles, which would be 4. They're tied together. I'll turn this around here and I want to show you something else too while I'm at it. I don't know if we can see them or not, but what I was wanting to show you is, let me move this twine. I'll put it inside here in a minute. So these, you ain't gonna be able to see them all, but there's a whole bucket full of these right here. And that's the Egyptian walking onions that I've been drying. I hung some, but these is the Egyptian walking onions that I've dried, the bulbs. And these are for starts. I don't think that as long as they stay viable and hard, I don't think there's a thing wrong with them. I think it'll work like that. I've never dried them out dry. Let me get on over here where you can see. I've never dried them out dry. Let me get adjusted here. I have never dried them like that. Never dried them. Now you can see here the yellow onions. I mean, that's a big one right here. Those are big ones for Egyptian walking onions, believe me. And you got to understand, you plant that, there'll be 5 or 6 onions come up from that. But these is all set, so they're back up under there. There's a bunch of onions, Egyptian walking onions. Trying something new. I'm not gonna even show you hanging these up because that's old news by now. I wasn't wanting to do this, but I'm gonna try it, and I'll keep a close eye on these onions. And if I see them start going bad, the slightest bit, then I will take them down and we'll chop them up too. But I'm just gonna try it because I've never hung no onions in there and dried them. So I'm gonna try these. And the only reason I'm trying these is because by the time we've done got 2 gallon chopped, and we're gonna cut these, slice these in bigger chunks. We're not gonna chop these, we're gonna slice these in bigger slices. And like, you know, to go in different things to cook with, bigger chunks of onions. Basically, slice them in 16ths or something, or maybe 8ths, I don't know. Because what we've done over the years is we'll put too many onions up. And then, of course, when you got new onions in there, you've got the old ones. And I don't know, man. Just something to do. Again, I've got to put some chips down here because when it rains, where I walk here, it turns into a mud hole. Try to do that today too. But I've got my onions up, all but the white ones, and it's getting pretty steamy out here. Still hazy. I don't, get away, bee. Still hazy. Go on. And they're giving warnings as far as air quality till tomorrow at noon, I think. Should blow all this haze and particulate out of here. You can definitely see it. It's not near as bad now. But just like right here, right to my woods, I can tell that there's a haze, and it's not humidity. It was this morning mixed with it, but it's not now. And at a long distance from here down to my store, it's worse. And then on across over toward the lake, toward the mountain, it's quite hazy. But of course, I'm smelling onions now and all this stuff. But yeah, it's still hazy. But anyway, this will take. Now I've got some candy onions over here. No, I've got Walla Walla onions over here, and I've got a tray of candy onions inside here that's started up so high that we'll do something with them. I don't know what, but we'll do something. We're not done with the onions yet, but as far as our onions for the winter crop, got a few white ones out through there. We'll probably just pull them and eat them along. And if these dry down and starts, you'll know in a couple of days. When you feel that onion around that stalk, and in the onion bulb, and if that starts feeling a little soft, if it's not drying out good, if it starts feeling a little soft, then you better jump on it. But now, next week, this coming week, 1st of July, I think, for the next, unless the weather's changed, it changes very frequently. I understand why, too. It's hard for them to hit it anymore, or predict it. If it starts a lot of moisture and raining, by these being hanging out like this, it could jeopardize them. But anyway, that's it. I'm going to cut these up, and we'll take them in and slice them. These is going to be hung And that will be the end. Let's put it this way. That'll be the end of the onions till the Walla Walla and the candy onions come along. And that will probably be this fall. All right. Okay, I wanted to go ahead and show you where I hung them onions. I hung them right there. They're right beside the Egyptian walking onions and the garlic. You can see the garlic's dried down well. Won't be long till it'll be ready to take down from there and clean up and cut them roots off and bag it for the winter. It's dry enough almost. Okay, that's the onions. We'll keep an eye on them. That'll be it.